ladies and gents in Cyberland, coming back with another film review. I've been waiting to do this, and it's probably one, if outside of Ghostbusters, it's like my all-time favorite film. I love it from top to bottom. I just can't get enough of it. It's one film I tend to watch at least once a year, if not more than once a year. I love this film and everything that was done with it, and just the lasting impact it's done, and it's just one of my favorite films. So let's get into it. LA Confidential. So, I remember the film came out. I had never seen it. And it got a lot of awards, and it got a lot of nominations. I don't know how many people. I think Kim Basinger did win. But it was such a good film. My mom used to speak it to me about it a lot. Like, oh, this film and blah, blah, blah. And at one point, I did not watch. I saw it on television. It had to have been, I think it was Cinemax or Showtime. I think more so leaned towards Cinemax. It wasn't HBO. And I watched it, but I really didn't understand it. But I enjoyed it. And then at some point, I just said, I'm going to buy this movie, and I bought it from Circuit City. I do remember that. I bought it from Circuit City, and I was a little older, and I watched it, and I just loved it. Like the second time around, I just fell in love with the characters and the story and just everything. So the film follows three cops, not one, two, but three. Jack Vincennes, Bud White, and Ed Exley. And each one of them are police officers and do things for their own reasons. Jack Vincennes is more of a Hollywood police officer. Bud White is more of a street officer. And Ed Exley is more of a politician type of cop. And they do things that serve their own needs. Bud White will plant evidence if he has to get somebody convicted, or he'll beat the shit out of a suspect. Think nothing of it. Jack Vincennes is more about hobnobbing it with those celebrities, and he only does criminal busts from time to time when it makes him look good in front of the press. And Ed Exley is more of an upcoming officer who just wants to rise in the ranks. And he's willing to do what's necessary. He doesn't break the law per se, but he will step over people if he has to get where he needs to. And as the film progresses, we get to see that some people get a little dirt on them to be more able to work with, and some people that have been dirty tend to start washing some of that dirt off of them to be more of a better cop per se. The music was great. The scenery was great. There was not one thing I did not like about this film. The pacing was marvelous. Kim Basinger, gorgeous, did such a great job as an actress in this film. She was just wonderful. And then just everybody had a place. Danny DeVito was great in here. And the film is just about a murder that happens at a diner. A bunch of people get killed. And what we think the murder is about is totally not what it was about. And we come to find out that the murder is intertwined with the mob to some degree. And there's a lot of people involved that we don't know are involved until almost towards the end of the film. And some of those people were already killed before we realized that they were involved in whatever in regards to the corruption. I wouldn't say this film was accurate in regards to were these things happening in the police at that time. They could have been. I didn't grow up in that era. but they were very, racism was afoot. The way people dressed, the way people talked, the way the cops were with the public, the way the media was with the public, all of that is pretty accurate from historical evidence I've read from time to time of the 1950s. Film is after World War II, takes place after World War II, but is before the Civil Rights movement. So it's like it just has its place in time. And the other character is the city itself, L.A. That's another character of the film. And looking at L.A. back then and what it is now, I wish I could just take a time machine and just look at the streets and how the cars looked and how the city looked. It's very amazing with how they portray things in the film. The pacing was good, and the villain or villains to some degree, when you're able to put two and two together, you're kind of like thrown aback. When it came out who the villain was, I didn't see that coming at all. And some of the deaths in the film too, I was completely shocked. I couldn't believe those things happened, but they did, and they had their reason. And then the ending too, kind of had its moment as well. But I can never get enough of watching LA Confidential. It's such a great film. It's entertaining. It has something. It's not for kids. Keep that in mind. However, as an adult film, it's just simply amazing, and it's just wonderful what the cast was able to do and bring this story to life and project it to the audience. And it's one cop film that I never get enough of. I might actually watch it after this review again just to watch it again because I love it so much. So, with that being said, if you've never seen it, watch it and you will enjoy it, regardless of what your ethnicity is, regardless of your gender. There's something in here for everybody, at least in my opinion. So with that, I will rating, it's a masterpiece, 10 out of 10 yes sirs. Let's make sure we put that out there. And yeah, I will catch you guys on the next one. Take care.